Welcome to Crappens! Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show! Well, hello and welcome to Crappy Hour. I'm Ronnie, that's Ben over there. Hi Ben, what's going on, baby?
Hi, Ronnie. I'm good. How are you doing over there in Tejas?
Good.
What a fun weekend I had with you. Really, one of my favorite weekends of our tour. I just had so much fun on my little Texas adventure over with you. We just had the best time.
Yeah, we really did have a good time.
It was really fun.
I'm good. Just got back, did Mother's Day, did episodes today, just rolling right along. What can I tell you? Okay, just never stops.
Never stops. The fun time never stops. I just want to mention for people who are here. First of all, hi everyone who's here on YouTube and on Instagram. When we were in Texas, we did a road trip from Austin to Dallas, and we put our phones on mounts and we recorded it. And it's really fun. And that was like 90 minutes. So we're splitting that into 3 videos or 3 bonus episodes on Patreon. But that'll be up. That'll be up soon, very soon. And so I hope you guys all listen to it because it's just funny listening to us just ramble on the highway. Like the way our brains work and how we jump from subject to subject is so hilarious. Sometimes
The
when we
ADD
do the
is
show,
strong.
yeah, we just do these episodes. We turn them out, we put them out, and then we go on to the next one. So to sit there and actually I like to I watched the whole thing and I was like, we are ridiculous. We are 2 ridiculous people.
Well, I'll tell you what's ridiculous. Bravo Television.
Truly.
You've been keeping up with the Bravo news?
I've been trying to. I thought I was doing a really good job keeping up, and then I looked at our document, and there's even more news I couldn't even imagine that was out there. Like I was like, I'm up on all the gossip this time around, but no, there's always more.
There's more. Wait, Bravo clarifies state. Okay. Yeah, well, the biggest news was confusing because it wasn't official news, but it came out that Real Housewives of New York has been cancelled, and then they were like, no, that was just some source. No, Bravo didn't say that. It was some source saying they're going to retool it or reboot it or do something with it. Did you mourn? What was your thoughts? Or what were your thoughts on the original post of cancellation? What'd you think?
Well, the original thing was that RHONY and New Jersey were both not listed on Bravo's press release or update about what was being officially renewed. And New Jersey has actually gotten kind of forgotten in this mess, but both those shows were listed as not being renewed. And so everyone was like, oh my God, da 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 da. And then the next day, there was sort of like a more authoritative article that came out in Page 6 that said, Bravo has no plans to film RHONY. Like basically, like RHONY is dead for now. Like RHONY is going the way of Miami, Dallas, Dubai. Like it's not canceled, but it's basically done. And then of course everyone was up in arms.
It's like a gay breakup. We don't ever fully cancel either. We're like, you know what? Let's break up. Maybe I'll fuck you in a year or so, but. I reserve my right. I reserve my right to do penis sword fighting, but otherwise get out of my house.
Then this was all on the heels of something that we announced last week on the air, so we don't have to go that far into it, but like Bravo had just announced like Ladies of London and Real Housewives of Rhode Island and basically Shaw's of Sunset reboot as the Valley and like this wife swap thing.
Head swap.
It's
oh
like
my God. Could you imagine? I would love a head swap reality show for Housewives.
I would love that. Franken Wives. Oh my God. Alexia's body on Kyle Richards' head, or I guess the head would be on the body. Yes, do it all. So anyway, I'm really not getting to the point here. I was actually, when I heard the news, I was okay with it because I just think that like RHONY, the reboot, they got it all wrong. Despite there's some high points, there's some good stuff that came out of it. It's not a total wash, but I think they got it all wrong. And they actually do need to hit a reset. Let's let it just have some time to marinate. Let's find the best elements of the new version. Maybe we can bring some elements of the old version and just cast the right people for it. We need people who are deluded, people who are from the Upper East Side. We don't need movers and shakers and influencers and fashionistas. We don't need to see glam New York City. We need to see rich, sheltered New York City. And so I was like, actually okay with it. What about you? Sorry, I'm talking a long time.
No, it's okay. It's your show. Talk as much as
Yeah,
you
but
want to.
I don't need to monologue.
Well, I thought I would feel happier because I feel like it's something, where I'm like, just can't, I get so frustrated sometimes by the end of a season when the season isn't working that I'm just like, get rid of it. And then they did. And then I felt bad. I was like, did I do this? Did my wishes,
You know
because
who did
sometimes
it.
I wish for stuff so hard that's not important, and then it happens, and then I'm like, wow, I should have wished for important things, like the downfall of the IRS or something like that. But I was like, did I do this? And I felt kind of bad, but then I saw a clip of Aaron somewhere, and I was like, oh God, never mind. Like,
Yeah.
keep my negative wishes in heaven, like they're still there, they're still alive. But I thought it was weird because just the night before, like 2 nights before, I think Psy made a post, which I just read about somewhere else because I ain't following Psy. No offense, but my head hurts. So I saw a post somewhere else, and it's like, look at all the ladies we're hanging out because we're not just friends on TV. We're women who love each other day in and day out, and we see each other at each other's events and stuff like that. And the only one not invited to this thing that they were at was Bryn. So I
Yeah.
thought for sure, knowing that upfronts were coming up, they were today. And so knowing the upfronts were coming up, I just thought that they were like, hi, here we are, we're shooting again. But then that cancellation thing came out. So anyway, a spokesperson, this is according to People Magazine, and this is real because Dave Quinn writes such real shit that he hasn't even been seen for like a year. He just disappeared. No one even knows if there's like a Dave Quinn AI bot or what. He's like the AI overlord or something now, but he disappeared and he's still writing stuff. So you can trust him because he was behind a bush when Lindsay was getting engaged.
Jenna
People's there
Bush.
for everything.
It was
Huh?
awkward. I said Jenna Bush. It was
Yeah,
awkward.
he jumped behind that Jenna Bush. So a spokesperson for Bravo has denied the cancellation. The second longest running franchise had a major cash shakeup. But they just wrapped their 15th season. So I guess they're saying nothing is official. The show hasn't been canceled. They're just rethinking it. I'm hoping that they're not going to try to salvage anything. I say just to give it a full retry. Stop going for young people and just go
Well,
for,
the
two
reason
young
why I
people.
said some salvaging is because I actually think that Miami has been remarkably successful, and I think they did a really good job of bringing on brand new people, but they kept some people from the original cast and moved some to friends of. So there was that nostalgic element that got us excited, but we created something new, and so like I think they have to follow the Miami model. They just did such a good job with like rebooting that show, and
Right, but that
I
they
think.
they kept the original cast. They hadn't already had a reboot. So I'm saying if they're going to salvage, don't salvage the new stuff.
Oh,
You
and
know
I was
what I
just
mean?
saying Jessel. It's really just Jessel. Honestly, it's just Jessel. I just salvaged Jessel. Pull Jessel out of the wreck. Jessel was like not as good this season, but that's also because the season wasn't really. She was pushed to the sidelines a lot. I mean, by the way, how thankful are we that we don't have to sit and watch Erin's pregnancy? Erin, who I would actually blame for the true downfall of this show, because I think that prank with Rebecca Minkoff, I think that was a jump the shark moment for the Real Housewives as an entire franchise. And I think that when that happened, I think Bravo realized we do have to purge this, because that broke a pact with the audience, that they built an entire trailer and something like that. They dangled a carrot in front of us and it turned out it was a joke. It's the equivalent of watching a whole movie and seeing someone wake up and say it was all a dream. It was not right. And so I would argue that on top of Erin not being terribly interesting, I know she tried to start fights. I know she tried to mix it up, and I appreciate that effort. But I think that joke was not good. I think she was an unreliable narrator to the audience, as was Bryn. And there's a difference between that and being a liar, because we can watch liars and they can be good Real Housewives. But if you're unreliable to the audience, that's a no go. So it's spoiled milk, but save Jessel.
Someone in comments is pointing out that reboot chemistry also worked for the new Atlanta, which is like kind of half and half. Which
Yeah.
agreed, noted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny that you blame Aaron. I mean, I guess obviously I don't. I'm not a huge Aaron stan either, but I still blame Leah McSweeney. That fuck
Well,
up.
if you really want to, if
I
you
blame
want to
Aaron
go
Mc.
there,
I blame Leah McSweeney for the reboot fail.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you could draw a line
She
all the
was
way
so
back there.
annoying. She was so annoying and still permeates the air. I was listening to the Bravo docket that outlines her complaint, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know that I've yelled in the car that much in a long time since someone said the joke was your pal
Well,
Becky's.
here's why I don't fully blame Becky. I mean, it
Your
was
pal.
Becky's joke, our pal Becky. Here's why I don't blame her, because she's not a full time cast member. Okay, so yes, it was her joke, but like I don't know. I just feel like Erin as like as the cast member. I don't know. I give more. I blame her more. I think
The
if
problem with
Becky,
that season was not the joke. I mean, I'm sorry. That was a
there's a
problem,
turning
but that
point
wasn't
though.
the problem. The problem was all of it. It was
I
just
think
all
that
of
the
it.
joke, all of it,
It's
100%.
like
But I
going
think
to
the
the
joke was the
doctor
moment.
and you're just riddled with disease, and the doctor's like, "Well, you have a zit on your nose. Let's pop that." Like, no, I'm riddled with disease. Put me through something other than this.
The joke was the moment when people officially lost their hope, I think. I think there was like a feeling like, okay, it's really slow, but like, I've sat through a lot of discussion about a Pavlova, but we know there's something coming. And then when that happened, it was like, oh, this is hot garbage. And even when things did get spicier later in the season, it was like we didn't care. And then it also, let's not forget, it went in such a dark place by the end of the season. It was just
Yeah,
it
it
was
was bad.
terrible.
So yeah, and I think the joke also it was a promise, right? Because it was in the previews for the season. It was in the coming this season. You see this huge fight of somebody's been cheating on their husband and got impregnated, and it was like, okay, well this dumpster fire is about to turn into something, but then it all turned into a joke, like you said. When somebody wakes up and it's all a dream. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so let's go. I
We're
just
all
said that
right.
really
It's
fast
all of the
because
above. All of
yeah,
the above. I want to say it's
yeah.
both of us. We're both right in this
It's
one.
everything. So as we mentioned earlier in the week, Bravo did announce the show's Wife Swap, Real Housewives of Rhode Island. What were the other ones? Oh, Ladies of London
Ladies
and
of
Shaws
London,
of the
and
Valley.
yeah, it's like I think it's officially called what, like the Valley Persian style or something like that. They should just call it the Shahs of Ventura. Just move the boulevard over. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't know that we need to spin it off into I don't know that the Valley needs a spin off.
Yeah, I feel like that's actually a great idea. It's like the way that Keeping Up with the Kardashians became the Kardashians because the Valley is
Minus
like
one
it's kind of
abusive.
cursed.
Like the Shahs minus one abusive Shah or something. I don't know. It's not
Minus
very
the
catchy, I
shoehead.
guess.
I'm surprised that Mike Shoehead and Jax Taylor haven't started a podcast together. Inside the mind of a merry man. Bolina, a spoof podcast.
Paulina. Well, speaking of Jax, we'll come back to these new shows in a minute, but just because you said Jax Taylor, my blood started boiling a little bit. So
Yes.
Jax has had so many podcasts canceled. Apparently, he has his podcast that was going on tour. I heard him lying his ass off to Dr. Drew in a clip. Well, he had Dr. Drew, I guess, on his show. And Dr. Drew was like, yeah, your problem is lying. And if you're ever going to be so truly sober, you have to learn how not to lie. And I imagine that's going to be a problem for you. And Jack's like, no, no, no. Like you're totally right. And like, I'm like totally getting better about that. And like, I totally agree with you. Yeah. Cause like I said, Brady's a bitch. So I don't know what's going on with him, but people have gotten their phone lines hot. Okay. The phone lines have been burning up, y'all. And they're getting his live show canceled all over the place. I think he started with um, 12 dates. And according to reality, like 6 of them have been canceled. So, this is
Yeah,
great. It's so nice to see what Americans can do when we're really paying attention. Just remember that next time there's an election.
yeah. That's a great reminder, Ronnie. Pay attention before the election, not after. Um. What's shocking is, I mean, he has done some shows, I believe, and I haven't seen any leaks. I haven't seen any videos. I haven't seen like no one. I don't. Are people going to this? Do people
Yeah,
even
no one
care? I
did
thought
that
for sure
thing. We
we'd
were
hear
looking for it
something.
before a show this weekend of a recap of his show. You know how they do like Vanderpod recaps? We'll do a recap of a recap or whatever, which I love that shit on
Mm-hmm.
their Instagram. Love you, Vanderpod. But no one did one for Jack, so I don't know if anybody went. Someone had posted the seating chart for his Boston show, and I think like 10 seats had been sold. So I don't know.
Wow. I mean, because on top of that, like obviously he is a horrific, terrible person. But on top of that, there are a lot of horrific, terrible people that still can pull in an audience. But he can't because you're waving. Are you waving to get my
That's
attention?
me.
You're waving. You're saying he has because the
Terrible
issue is
people with horrible karma can still pull some kind of an audience. I'm like, thank God.
thank God. But he also just doesn't have anything interesting to say, right? Like because there will be the people who like Jax, but like no one's gonna go to the show because no one wants to know what's inside the mind of Jax Taylor. We know what's
There's
inside the mind of Jax
nothing.
Taylor. Cocaine.
It's nothing.
It's hollowed out.
It's the end of the world. So yeah, so that was a thing. So you know what Bravo's really good at is learning their lesson. So they really took a look at the public discord and the public discourse on Jax and decided, you know what would be a really good idea? Let's announce that Jax is going to appear at BravoCon. What the fuck is wrong with you, Bravo?
That's
Like,
shocking.
honestly, why would you do this? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, that is shocking. I mean, I I'm surprised, but you know what though? People will probably still. I don't know. Do you think people will go and sit and watch Jax so that whatever he does at BravoCon? I feel like he
Yes. I mean, I'm
is.
sure it'll be part of the Valley, but yeah, people will go see the Valley panel even if Jax is there.
I mean, the thing, yeah, yeah. I think people will want to hear what he has to say because in terms of like being
Hopefully,
on a
we'll
Valley
boo the whole
panel,
time. I mean,
that's what it is. I think
if we're
Bravo
at
is banking on
BravoCon during that, I will boo the whole time. Thank
Bravo
you.
got so much. What is it called? Like earned earned awareness, or what do marketing people say when basically with all the clips of like when audiences booed Lisa Rinna or like moments when that guy confronted Kyle Richards, like these moments go viral when the audience is angry and goes after someone. And Bravo knows this. So Bravo's gonna put Jax up there on a Valley panel, and they just are Bravo's baiting the audience to get up onto that microphone and just tell Jax off because they know it's gonna be a moment, and it will be great.
Oh, thanks, Carrie. She says, bad Bravo takes and flip flopping doesn't make a bad person. Thank you. Oh, um, so I'm looking at another article here. Well, I was going to Real Housewives of Rhode Island meet possible cast members. So, in all of these new show announcements, we just kind of read the announcement. I don't know anything about Rhode Island. I know it's really tiny and somewhere
There's a lot of mob stuff
far
there
from me.
in Providence.
But yes,
brown.
we read an article that says this is like a very heavily Italian. What the fuck am I trying to say? There's a lot of Italians there, a lot of Italian Americans, and Andy said on his podcast, I mean, they're like even more Italian than Jersey people, which really pissed off Italian Americans. Like, how dare you? How dare you say that they're more Italian than us? Fuck you, Andy. So he was getting a lot of fuck yous for that. But I thought, wow, that's cool. And then apparently the husbands are really involved in this one as well. And there's a lot of husband fighting in the Rhode Island cast, and apparently some maybe possible mob ties, which should be interesting. And you even mentioned it that show Game of Crowns took place in Rhode Island, and there was like a husband
There's a
who
murder
threatened
threat.
to murder somebody.
People need to stop sleeping on that show. I hope that like last year Peacock did a whole thing about like we're releasing shows to the vault. They like went to the vault and put shows on Peacock, and I hope that Game of Crowns gets its moment to hype up the Rhode Island show when it comes out, because people really need to watch Game of Crowns, because we got a glimpse into Rhode Island craziness with that show, and it was so delicious. I feel like we've been robbed not having it since, and I'm really hoping the show picks up, the Real Housewives of Rhode Island picks up where Game of Crowns left off, because there were like just true crazies on that show. So this article from the Providence Journal is talking about some Instagram accounts that has teased couples and 7 houses for the shows. So there's the first name up is Rosie Woods DeMate, and we see her house. It's like a ranch house. Luann de Lesseps would not approve. By the way, I
No, a
love
ranch is a
Love Island.
one-story house,
Oh, what do you call this kind again?
like a
You're right.
farmhouse.
No, it's like what's that suburban kind of house where you walk in and it's usually split level. It's not split level homes. Is that just what it is? You know, there's usually like a kitchen and then upstairs you walk in and like you go like, take a little staircase up to the kitchen. You can go a little staircase down to the bedrooms. What are those called again?
A split
Someone in the
level.
comments can say something.
I thought a split
I'll
level. I mean, I don't know.
maybe just split
So,
level.
this is in North Kingstown, this home. It's a 7-minute drive from Mount View Beach, and it has an adorable 3-car garage. I mean, these people love their cars. The whole first floor is garages. And it says 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and 1 amazing walk in closet. Home to a fabulous housewife who is serenaded by her husband, a professional Frank Sinatra impersonator. Okay, I already love this show.
Yeah,
That's all I need. A cheap house and a husband who's a Frank Sinatra impersonator. Yes!
I know.
Score.
people in the comments, by the way, are saying raised ranch. This has come up a few times, which is also
Oh, it's a raised ranch.
That's Katie Maloney's tagline too.
Raised by ranch is hers.
You know what I'd love? I'd love that this house, $689,000. That is very cheap for a Bravo star to be on The Real Housewives, unless you're like Monica Garcia. But like, this is Bravo likes their stars to be in expensive houses. I would not be surprised if these people have to like rent out a more expensive looking place.
Well, they do it. You know, watch Salt Lake City. I think half that cast rents homes to film in. So then, let's see this. Rosie is married to professional Frankie impersonator. She's a former television news reporter and anchor, as well as a DJ and MC.
Oh,
you guys,
please let this be true.
Is it too late to call Rosie Woods icon and mother or mother?
Well, just the fact that she's a former television anchor, you know she's going to be amazing. I'm getting like Nicole Kidman in To Die For. Like, that's what I want. I want someone who is like local Rhode Island news anchor with news anchor hair, who thinks she's like one, heartbeat away from being Diane Sawyer, but she's really just a local Rhode Island reporter walking around with her Frank Sinatra husband. It is actually beyond perfect. And I think, like, please let this be true.
Next up is Monique Pass. In one of the house teases, the Instagram site dropped the clues that this housewife is expected to stand by her husband, a former professional athlete, while he faces charges for allegedly assaulting an 82-year-old man at Planet Fitness. Can we please
What?
start this show now? I don't even need this show to be edited. I say just get the cameras going and show me right now what's happening 24 hours a day. I'm going to put this stuff up on video so people can see. So this is the house.
Yeah, good idea.
This has got window units, air conditioners, and a Home Depot door. I recognize that door.
And look at that price tag. That is TLC level. That is not Bravo level. $264,000 on The Real Housewives?
Well, I kind of like that. You know, I think that Real Housewives, we've seen Real Housewives struggling to maintain this rich image, and I'm okay with people who aren't rich. I think that it's okay. I mean, I don't need everybody to go into bankruptcy to just try and be on this show. I don't think it makes the show any better. It's all fake anyway, so who cares? Look at Dorit. Poor thing.
I think
literally.
I need the fakery. But I want them to either be wealthy or fake wealthy. But I can't see a 6-figure number for a house on The Real Housewives. It has to be 7. Look at the next. Look at Monique.
$264,000. Wow. Okay, so next up, let's see, Monique and Patrick Pass. So this is them, right?
Yeah, Monique is like, I think she's squinting at us. I don't think she likes us very much.
She has not figured out how to find her light when she's taking a selfie. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Patrick beat up an 86-year-old. I'm in.
Yeah. Patrick Pass used to play on the Patriots. I think having a name called Pass on the Patriots is a little on the nose. It's like his name might as well be like Joseph Football, Robert Touchdown, Patrick Pass. Okay, next person, Elizabeth McGraw. This is again another speculative cast member. The Instagram account teased a Cranston house with the clues. This waterfront dream house is what we call the Golden Tuna. I don't even understand why someone would ever say that.
Married to a cannabis king and sports fisherman, this smoke show is one hell of a catch. So she's like from a big fishing family, I guess. And she's giving me Melissa Gorga vibes.
with some Carrie
And
Duber maybe mixed in.
yeah, I just mean I think she's going to have that kind of personality. I see it in
Oh,
her eyes. I see it in her crazy, thirsty, desperate eyes.
is that also because for some reason there's a video of the Real Housewives of New Jersey tackle just the greatest hits of of New Jersey tackles happening in the corner of your screen.
Was that what was down there?
It was like it was like a montage of like every fight on New Jersey in the corner there.
Oh, love it. Okay, so let's see
It's
about
great.
them. Elizabeth McGraw is married to Gerald McGraw, president of something Slater Compassion Center, a medical and recreation cannabis business in Rhode Island. Is it not legal to just sell cannabis yet? Do you still have to go under the guise of needing it for medical reasons? That's the vibe I'm getting. Where you go to the doctor that's got a green cross on the front. And you're like, oh, my back. And he's like, all right, that'll be $50. You'll feel better any minute.
I also love that his recreational cannabis company is called Compassion Center. The Thomas C. Slater Compassion Center. I have to assume Thomas C. Slater. It's probably a tribute to someone who died, and there's probably something like it was medical marijuana, someone who died from cancer. But it's probably just like I don't know. You know what? I'm not even gonna go on a limb and be like it's probably just some pot shop, and then everyone's be like, no, someone died of cancer. But I just think calling it a compassion center is hilarious because you know that she's gonna be the least compassionate person on the show.
Yeah, and I hope that she says when she fights with somebody, I hope she's like, you know what you need? You need to come to our compassion center, honey, because you're lacking. You're lacking in compassion. So then we go down to Rula Pontarelli. Next up, Rula Nima Pontarelli, a financial planner married to podiatrist Brian F. Pontarelli.
Oh, that's a fun one
Um,
to say.
yeah,
Brian
she
F.
looks like the lady
Pontarelli.
who is obsessed with French fries on Real Housewives of Dubai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Her husband
Yeah.
has nice tiny baby nipples and a waxed chest.
Very waxed. He's very smooth. He's AI generated almost. He's almost like Pixar. So in sharing the Lincoln House, the Instagram account teased, "Here lives the queen bee boss lady. Her husband is a podiatric surgeon and waits on her hand and foot!" Exclamation point.
Oh God, I love the caps. Foot, got it. We got it. We got it. So now
Finally, a
this is
McMansion.
yeah. This is a house that feet built right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Take
This
note,
is
Lala,
this
or
is a
whoever
foot.
was selling their feet on Vanderpump Rules. This foot built some homes.
This is a house built on planter warts right here. Okay, this podiatrist has been doing great work.
The bricks are really planter warts. Just stop it. There's like
There's
little tacky statues on the front. Oh, this house is tacky as hell. It's
Yeah,
1.299 million. So they've doubled everyone
it's a
else's
lot
house.
of
Oh my God, I
coins.
can't wait for the snotty foot lady. Maybe her tagline
Ooh,
will be like, "These feet were made for talking."
I also just love these names. The next woman, Joelle and Tiberi.
Yeah, Joelle and
Everyone sounds like
Tiberi.
someone that your aunt has met at like the supermarket. Joelle and Tiberi, yeah. So when posting about the Cranston house, the Instagram account said the potential housewife who lives here, there is a cool and sculpted beauty. Her husband is a high performing mortgage lender who is top 4 on his team. Okay, so that means he's probably like a predatory lender, scamming people.
He's got kind of a predatory lender, dead-eyed vibe to him, and he's got very spiky hair that someone probably. I think he's trying to make it into a faux hawk, but then it gets unruly as the night goes on. So I
Yeah.
don't get a lot from them. So let's see here. Next up, oh, here we get some more. We get their wedding picture or a funeral picture. I'm not really sure what that is. With every year comes a
It's a
new
very
adventure
formal
with you.
funeral.
Our family comes to grow, and we continue to make lasting memories. Heart hands, you always keep me on my toes, Mrs. Tiberi. Never a dull moment, just the way we like it. Winky face, blessed to have you by my side. Happy birthday, Joelle and Tiberi. Blue heart.
Are they like the Danny and Nia of Rhode Island? I kind of feel like that could be the case. Oh, wait, it's actually a slideshow. Let's see what the
She's
next.
got
Oh, okay.
Adriana face from Real Housewives of Miami.
I'm just
Ooh, we
scrolling
should see if we could
through.
read his texts. Let's see. There's a screenshot of his text. Let me make it bigger. Oh God, it's so tiny. Let me see.
Screenshot of his text.
Yeah, he's on his phone is face down on the. Oh, I can't read it. I can't read that.
Oh, I see. I see.
I was gonna try and catch him in some villainous activity, but I couldn't
Yeah,
find
he's had
any.
like a little meal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh,
The next part, this one,
stupid
Alicia
ads on
Carmody.
websites. What the hell?
I know the ads are crazy. Alicia Carmody, fiance Bill. By the way, these pictures from the Instagram account that they keep on talking about is Real Housewives of Rhode Island that allegedly has the inside track and all this stuff. And they are so excited. Every single person that they put up, they're like, "Meet Alicia!" Exclamation point. Fiance Bill, absolutely stunning. Say hi to Alicia from the East Side. So Alicia's from the East Side, everyone. So the clue for her is this ranch, built in 1960, is located on the east side of Providence, the city's most prestigious neighborhood. It's home of Rhode Island's first housewife. She is the fiance to a highly educated, democratic, small business owner. And so then they all know that. I guess, is there like one
does
Democrat
that
in
mean?
Rhode Island?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, oh, it's the Democrat.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they're like, this is the Democrat. She's engaged to Bill, who owns Angelo's Palace Pizza. Fuck yes, a
Yes.
pizza owner, a pizza place
Yeah.
owner. I mean, she looks completely insane, by the way, and he looks like an undertaker. He looks like an undertaker with a business place. Like he looks like he's
He
waiting
does.
for you to die. He's just
He
there
looks sort
with
of like
a
a
nice
young
little
Mitch
smile.
McDonald.
Mhm.
Yeah. She looks like she will fight to the death to defend her husband's pizza honor. She's like, you want to make fun of our slices? You want to make fun of Angelo's Palace Pizza or Antonio's Pizza by the Slice or Pizza Mama in Cranston? Because you're gonna have to go through me because I designed all those pizzas. I'm the
Say
lady
one more
behind
thing
it.
about my pizza. I'll stick your foot up your ass, foot lady.
Pizza burn? How about Alicia burn? Get out of here.
She is so desperate to get a lower angle from the camera person that she has put an air vent and this horrible ceiling in her picture. I really like her. Also, she can look get her angles. So that's what we
that
see
wall
so
art?
far. What's the wall art?
They're like, you
What
know
is
we wanna
that? Is
do?
that a chalkboard?
It's a smudge.
Is
They're
it
like-
a chalkboard? This is guys. These were the original plans for the east side of Rhode Island. They would.
She's from the East Side, everyone. We painted a piece from Angelo's Palace Pizza and put it on the wall.
Only a highly educated Democrat would get this. So, sorry for you dummies out there.
From the East Side. An East Side highly educated Democrat who runs 3 pizza places.
All right, so there's your first look at the Rhode Island cast. I am excited.
Yeah, 100%. This looks great. There's actually even some more names, but there's a whole bunch of rumors, but there's no bios on them, so it's less fun. But yeah, I just start playing it now. Bravo, we're ready.
Yeah, just give it to us. So there was a video this week of Kyle Richards that was pretty funny, in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots, running around her house with that assistant who lost all feeling in her legs. Remember her when she heard
Yeah.
news this season? They're both running around the house in cowboy hats and cowboy boots. And there's a little snake. It's like a little rat snake or something. It's not a scary snake. And it's at Kyle's door. And so she's running around the house screaming, terrified, and calls Mauricio to come get the snake. And I just thought it was funny because she's dressed like a cowgirl. Like, you can't be that afraid. Tell me you're a temporary cowgirl for the hoo-ha without telling me, ma'am. Go
Yeah.
stomp on it if you're so afraid of it, cowgirl. What kind of cowgirl are you?
I know, exactly. You get a broom or something like that. Yeah, that's wild.
Just like in the Vanderpump years, whenever it comes to Kyle, I was rooting for the snake. I was like, get her.
Yep.
Get her. That snake didn't come to the reunion, and I was mad for like 5 years after.
There's another video of Kyle that I saw last night where Kyle and Mauricio inexplicably, I'm assuming has to do with Bravo upfronts, which ironically, the Bravo upfronts, not very upfront about what's going on with RHONY. But Kyle and Mauricio and their grown daughters are all at like the club partying with the season 5 cast of Love Island. So it's like Janae, etc., Kendall, all of them. And I'm just like, they're like dancing, and Mauricio's like, hey, raise the roof. And I'm just like, okay, I'm fine if like Sophia and the other one, and if they're hanging out with these kids. But Farrah, why are you there, Farrah? And Kyle and Mauricio, why are you hanging out with the Love Island kids like this? This just like, it was like, This was actually more cringy to me than all the stories about Lexi and her family. I was like, you guys have aged out of hanging out with these Love Island kids in this capacity. Please stop doing this. It's just embarrassing now.
I don't think you're allowed to say that because we're old and we would hang out with the Love Island
But
cast.
we're gay. We're gay.
We're gay. We never age past a certain mental level because
Yeah.
we're too gay.
We're immature.
We're Peter Loving Pans. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
So some news that I've thought was interesting. Katie Janela posted, and Katie Janela from OC, for those of you who don't understand the skipping forward, Katie posted something on her Instagram, a story that was something like, a compulsive liar. Well, that's how something like I'm a boss lady, how my mom knows me. A great, a great, garden waterer, how my gardener knows me. Compulsive
Oh, yeah,
liar,
this is like
how
the
my
meme.
cast knows me. It was one
How
of
the
those
government
things.
knows me, my name's, yeah.
Yeah, and it turns out that the rumor has started spreading that she is now out of Real Housewives of Orange County after getting in a huge fight with Emily Simpson and Gretchen Rossi from TV Deets. Katie wanted to go on the recent cast trip to Amsterdam, but she was not allowed. Let's just say her future is not looking bright. Without saying too much, a major announcement will be coming soon regarding her status on the show. However, a source close to Katie denies the rumors, maintaining that she has not quit or been fired. The reason for her not being on the cast trip will be revealed in due time. They absolutely tried to villainize Katie this season. It's been brutal.
I already know I'm going to be on Katie's side for this. I just already know because it's Emily and Gretchen. So, like, the odds are I'll be on her side. I'm open to being not on her side, but I do think it's really bad if she's not on the cast trip. Like, that is a really, really bad sign for her and her tenure on the Housewives.
Well, Katie and the other new blonde lady, I forgot her name, even though I really liked her. What was her name?
Jen Pedranti.
So they were hanging out with Alexis Bellino a lot after the season, and so I kind of lost respect for them, even though I liked them on their season. But I was like, gross. So I'm prepared for them to come back and be gross. But Gretchen being back on the show, this is going to be fun because it's going to give us somebody to be hateful towards, because I don't think Gretchen's going to be somewhat likable like she used to be. I mean, Gretchen was annoying, but she wasn't pure evil. I have a feeling she's coming back as pure, unadulterated evil. But
yeah.
it's aimed at Tamra, so that should be fun. Because in other news, Tamra's news for the week is they just finished shooting Orange County, and Tamra had it rough, so rough that she quit the season and then had to be begged to come back. And she said, "It was the most difficult season of my life, bitch."
Yeah, meanwhile, Teddy is sitting here, like, fighting for her life, and Tamara's like, oh my God, having to go on a complimentary trip to New Orleans. So difficult, bitch. I mean, come on. I mean, one of the great things that Teddy did recently was that she just basically told Tamara, get your ass back onto your TV show where you have been hired and stop complaining. I'm the one going through shit, not you. And I'm glad she did that. This Orange County season seems like a total shit show. But I mean, I'm hoping it's gonna be a good shit show, like shit show in the best possible way.
Yeah. She told Teddy, "I'm not going to tell you anything that happened, but I want you to be totally surprised. Roughest year ever for me. Roughest year ever. I don't know if I'll even get first seat at the reunion. You never know until you walk out on that stage." So who
Well, you know
knows?
it's not a rough season if you didn't get first chair, then you know you didn't really have a rough season, right? It's only the people who got really destroyed who wind up in that first chair.
Yeah. She's going to be depressed now, though, she said. So excited for that season as well.
That means that people held her accountable. That's what that means.
Oh, yeah. They
Means her
brought in
bullshit didn't
Gretchen to
work.
read her for filth. And Emily doesn't have to be nice to Tamara anymore because she's got a new friend on the show. So this should be interesting because Emily and Gina are always in that kind of power vacuum where no one has
They're the swing
really
votes.
truly taken them under. And then when people like Shannon have tried to take them under their wing, they just fuck them over immediately just to try and get the more popular girls to like them. So this will all be very interesting to see how the power dynamic shifts.
Yeah. Emily's basically like a housewives mercenary. You know, she's for hire. You want her to be on your side this season. You know, give her some margaritas at at whatever that place is that they don't want to say Joffrey's, Javier's, you know, and then she'll be on your side and she will fight for you. And that's what they do. That's how they stay in season after season. They just are in the middle and they're swing votes in the big fights that happen. And then everyone falls out. And then these two are left standing. And then they're ready to go for another season of, driving us absolutely crazy.
Well,
Really
in
is Gina.
other
Gina's the real one who makes me crazy. Not so much
Gina,
Emily.
she had half a good season this year where she didn't make us
She
crazy,
did.
but yeah, she had a really rough first half. So, in keeping with the Bravo never learns its lesson news, people are freaking out because Madison LaCroix had a baby shower for the shoot of the new season of Southern Charm, and guess who showed up? Corey Kiefer.
I saw him in a photo recently with like Craig. Okay, so Corey Kiefer is back in the mix.
All right, so people are worried that he's going to be a cast member on Southern Charm. What say you?
Oh God, he's just so uninteresting. He's deeply uninteresting, deeply uncharming, and I think he thinks he's way more interesting and way more charming than he really is. Oh my God, leave him on Winter House, please.
Yeah, I don't want to have to see scenes shot in his gym where he did all the artwork of happy faces. Remember when he was like, "Yeah, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Mostly a happy face artist. I painted my gym." So
Yeah, he's really deep. He really thinks about things, on deep levels. And then smiley face form.
yeah, I say no.
No,
I
I
say
do
we don't
not
need
want
that.
Corey Kiefer back at all.
Yeah.
At all. No way. The other things that are happening here. Let's see what Lisa Vanderpump has to say.
Well, Sheena's been coming for Lisa a lot lately. She wrote a book, which is supposedly like a tell-all, where she comes for Lisa Vanderpump. And then she was in another interview saying that Lisa hasn't even called her to check on her. The only time Lisa ever calls is when she needs something. Why the fuck else would Lisa call you? My ex-bosses don't call me every day seeing how the fuck I am. What does she care? Have you called her? She's the older one. Have you called her to say, "Hey, is Ken's battery still going?"
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for Lisa to call Sheena. It's done.
And then Allie has been going on a press tour because she has a new podcast. So Allie's like, "Lisa Vanderpump told me to forgive James, and I didn't even realize she was manipulating me until Sheena told me." I was like, "Oh, really? Did you feel like you were being manipulated by Sheena at all in that, Allie? Snap to it, Allie. Snap to it." Not that I doubt any of this, by the way, that Lisa Vanderpump is a manipulative person who's trying to stand up for a horrible man on Bravo, because we know that that's true. So Lisa's still all over the place. We talked to a Las Vegas press guy today for the show, the upcoming show in Vegas, and he was like, "Yep, Vegas is turning into Vander Vegas. It's everywhere." She's getting her own hotel by Caesars. They're remodeling an entire hotel called the Vanderpump Hotel. She's got 3 restaurants there. So Vanderpump doesn't give a fuck, but they're trying it.
Yeah, we were talking about how it's sort of interesting that that there's not like a Lisa Vanderpump show that's taking place in Vegas, considering that she has multiple properties, or multiple businesses there. She's got Pinky's and the Vanderpump Garden and now a new hotel. My theory is that there's going to be some like Vanderpump Villa spinoff that's only going to launch as the hotel is nearing completion. So that way it can sort of like ramp up and it can both promote the hotel, but also detail, like have this climactic opening, etc. I just hope that if they do something like that, I hope it's more, I hope that it's taken care of by Bravo and not by Hulu, because as we all know, Vanderpump Villa is like flaming hot garbage, and it's just like the worst.
Well, people
show
are
on
liking that
TV.
this year. Have you watched it this year, the Vanderpump Villa?
I started to watch some of it because our friend Taylor is on it. Taylor, our guest. So I do want to watch that episode or their stretch that they are on.
Taylor and
I
Taylor? Who's the other Taylor? Taylor Strucker?
her wife Taylor. So
Oh, Tay. Yeah.
yeah, plus also I'm just like curious about that sous chef who I think I mentioned that on Crappy Hour a few weeks ago, how I met that sous chef at a restaurant, and he's basically like I have no training except of what I learned on YouTube, but then he's like, and I was hired to be the sous chef to be on Vanderpump Villa, and I was like, oh god, oh god. We'll see how he turned out.
Well, I hear that's pretty good. Maybe I'll check it out. Probably won't. But I was so traumatized by the first one that I don't know that I'll go back to that.
Yeah.
So Lisa is asked about this, and she's about the new show Vanderpump Rules, and she says it's moving along at a very fast pace, but it's totally different to the original show. Of course, it has to be different. That story had been told.
Yeah. She's like, you could film that show 365 days a year. There are a few problems that have worked there for years, and obviously come with their own problems. I'm sorry, there are a few people that have worked there, but we like to call our people problems, and we have a lot of problems working in our restaurant, and they come with their own people, and by people I mean problems. And then there's new people joining us, and problems,
Yeah.
etc.
Karen is saying it's better, but still crap. I caught up on my shows. I needed something. You don't have to explain yourself. You're allowed to watch it. I'm allowed to watch it too. You know, maybe one day I will give it another chance. God, that really pissed me off last year. They were just that couple, that hideous couple. What were their names?
So terrible.
Maurizio,
Not Giacomo. Yeah, something.
And his
They were just
stupid
so terrible and
girlfriend.
so
Ugh,
fake.
disgusting people, disgusting,
I hated
vile,
it. I hated
disgusting
everything
people.
about it.
But I did
I
see
will
her post something like, "Dearest Vanderpump fans across the state, the city, the world, the universe, and the galaxy. I'm speaking on behalf of the poor reality television cast members that have to be bullied on television. Please don't bully the animals. Please. They're here for your entertainment." And someone was like, who's she standing up for? And someone was like, probably some awful man on Bravo, you know? Some toxic man got in trouble on Vanderpump Villa, I guess. So she's out there protecting.
No surprise.
But I don't know why people are so surprised she's standing up for terrible men. She needs them for her show. That's what she's made a fortune off of terrible men.
Marciano. Someone says Marciano is that douchebag's name.
Marciano, yes.
You know what I did? Sample on the airplane coming back from Texas, and we talked about it on our little road trip. I watched like the first 10 minutes of Yes Chef, because that's the Martha Stewart show with Jose Andres. I was really excited. And almost as soon as it began, I was like, oh, this is going to be hot garbage. And I could be wrong, because I honestly was like, I just don't know if I could do this. Because the whole gimmick, which I was not aware of, is that these are all amazing, accomplished chefs, but they all have personality problems. I had no idea that was the gimmick. The gimmick is like they're either they have like toxic workplaces, like they're very bossy, or they're perfectionists, or they don't have confidence, or da 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 da.
Oh, God.
And so this is about more than just cooking. It's about being like a better chef. And I was like, oh, hell no. I don't want to see. And then it was like the person that I recognized from that group was Katsuji, who was on Top Chef. And he was so annoying on Top Chef. I was like, what? This is what you bamboozled me into. It was like, it looked like it was something that was on Fox. It was not up to, it should not at the level of like Martha Stewart and Jose Andres. And I was like, oh no. And then I started to watch, like when we got into the first challenge, I was like, this is, no, I don't think I can do this.
So that's Yes Chef that you're talking about, the Martha Stewart show?
Yes Chef.
No, I don't need you to fix chefs. Please stop trying to fix chefs. You know what happens when you fix a chef? They fail, okay? You have to be emotionally fucked up to be a chef. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So something I just had up there that I wanted to read, you son of a
I'm
gun.
sorry.
I was keeping it up there so I could remember to read it. Okay, I'm putting it back just so I remember to read it. This cracked me up because I read a story today, speaking of all these jokers, that Sheena, you know, Sheena's headlines are always so silly. It's like, Sheena Marie, depressed and in bed for days. I'm like, why now? You know, what is it now? So she's depressed because she was, this is coming from Bonnie, Sheena cried because she got voted off Masked Singer first. She said it was the first time ever with no auto-tune. So that has sent little Sheener into a tailspin.
Oh, Sheener. Poor Sheener. Well, that is embarrassing. Oh. Victoria on Air says Love Hotel is just as good as Crappy Lake. I have to say, I
hell
think it's
no.
better.
How dare you? How dare you? Both were good, Victoria on Air. Holding me back.
I think I am going to say I think Love Hotel is better. And that's not to diss Crappy Lake. I think Love Hotel is so good. I can't believe how good this show is. I'm so excited to do our recap tomorrow about it.
I love it too. It's old people falling apart, like the old men just like slowly crumbling in the sun. I think it's so good. And this week we got Shannon fucking freaking out finally, which is amazing. What do you mean you don't eat vegetables?
Yeah, and the vegetable fight was way better than I thought it would be. Because like at the end of our last recap, you were saying like, I can't wait for next week because Shannon's gonna lose her mind over vegetables, and I thought it was gonna be just like a quick whatever, and then it was like not gonna be impactful. But it was like it shattered her relationship with Earl the Pearl. I mean, Earl the Pearl, Earl the Pearl.
Well, I think they might get married because you know what Shannon loves? A man who will argue. Shannon loves a toxic fight. She's had it with every person she's ever been with. I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm not saying she asks for fighting, but you know, some of us have that kind of personality. We need a little conflict. And I think that Shannon is that person because Earl stood up to her and was like, "Why are you always criticizing me?" And she's like, "You know, I have been told that I'm mean to my partners. And so that triggered me, Earl." And he's like, "Well, but you were criticizing me. So I was asking you why." And she goes, "Well, you know, someone told me that I was toxic and they just left me. And they never even told me why. And so that's what triggered me." I'm like, "But he is telling you why. He's telling you flat out why, Shannon." And she's like, "Why aren't you telling me what's wrong?" I'm like, "He's literally telling you."
Earl, I just want you to know that 1 year ago today, I got a DUI, and tonight I'm having another DUI. I am dining under the influence of vegetables. And if you can't join me on this, then I'm afraid we're not going to work out.
All right. Well, I love that show. We'll be recapping that tomorrow. And don't forget, we'll be in Vegas this Thursday night for everybody out there. But now it is time to turn this over to the audience for, you know, a little hangout time. So if you want to come chat with us on video, stay tuned. We're posting the link in the comments right now on YouTube and Patreon. So just click that and come on camera and talk to us. To everybody who's listening to this on audio, thank you so much for being here, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Okay, so hello everybody. Come talk to us now. We've just posted a StreamYard link. Make sure you have headphones, otherwise this is going to echo out and sound cray-cray.
Yeah, it'll sound crazier than you could even imagine. Yeah, I'm loving Love Hotel. I'm also loving, I'm loving tracking, seeing if I can track any growing animosity between Shannon and Joel Kim Booster, because they had a nice moment this week, as we'll talk about. But I'm like, is this something we're going to be able to see? Are we going to see the cracks before their big blowout?
Well, she said that nothing ever happened on the show. Of course, that's Shannon. She never knows anybody's mad at her. She's always shocked. But apparently it was that he just got all drunk at the cast party, the after party, and I guess the makeup people or the production people were telling him stories about what a monster she was and just went off. I thought he was sticking up for his friends, and then that really blew up in his face. But yeah, they had that scene this year, or this episode, where he's like, "Shannon, I just want you to know that you are not a failure. You are not a horrible person. You made some mistakes, but in the end, you're a hero, Shannon." Of course, he said that with no emotion or any facial expression, but you know, that's our Joel.
Yeah, that's our Joel. I'm looking at this with the comments. Say, Carrie Shoot says, "Happy anniversary, Ben and Dom." Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Poor Dom is stuck in the next room with COVID, but you know, we'll have a delayed anniversary celebration.
Is today the day?
Today's the day.
Oh, happy Annie. How do you
Thanks.
how do you know what day it is? Like, do you count the day from the first date? Do you count the day that you said your boyfriends? Do you count the day you first, you know, banged in a bathroom after meeting on Grindr? How do you choose?
We go with our first date. So this is actually like a true anniversary because our first date was actually on a Monday, which is today. So today is Monday. Our first date was on Monday, May 12th. But we first started talking, I think it was on like 3 days prior, like the Friday. And I started texting with him, and I was like, this guy's really funny. He has like really good text banter. I made a random joke about like, I forget what it was, but he made a joke about Niels Bohr, and I was like, he's making Niels Bohr jokes. I was like, wait a second, I need to pay attention to this person.
That's my guy.
And then, you know, the rest is history. 11
how
years later.
cute.
Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary. Okay, let's talk to Miley. Miley, hello.
Miley.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, baby?
Yes.
Holy crap, I can't believe I'm like talking to you guys again because I talked to you guys like 2 years ago and it was so cool. Anyways,
Party.
hey,
Hey.
so you guys were just talking about the Sheena podcast, so I was just watching that on YouTube. She cries about how she was so sad because she got eliminated on the first time and she was embarrassed and blah blah blah. But then as she goes on the podcast later on, she says, "Oh yeah, I only said I would do it if I only did like one show." And then she said that she changed her mind when she was there and said, "No, no, no, I want to stay." But they probably already had it set up that she was going to leave. So she like leaves out
Wow.
that big part.
Well,
It's
what a
just
fake ass show if you can choose when you're going to come and go. What the hell? What kind of
yeah,
show is
and like
this?
she acted like she was so sad about it, but girl, you're the one that told them like I'll only do it if I'm there for one night
Oh
or
God.
whatever.
So how do you get kicked off of that show? Because they're all terrible singers, right? With like 90% of them are bad singers, right? So are you supposed to be a good singer or a bad singer, or is it like costume based? I mean, how do they choose?
Well, I've actually never watched it, but I always thought it was like, adjacent to karaoke, but she was like also crying about how she was like, embarrassed about being made fun of because of her voice and all this stuff. And then it's like, girl, you freaking told them you would only do one show. So it was just, I don't know, I thought it was funny.
That's funny, but I tend to agree with some of the commenters in here. Jennifer says, I think she got voted off fair and square. That sounds like a Sheena story. Like, well, I told them I wanted to go, so I guess it is my fault. I shouldn't be depressed because if I hadn't said that, I would still be there. I'd be there for 10 years. They love me over there. So
Yeah, I'm about to
thank
say
you.
because
Good to
it's a
talk
game
to you.
show. Oh,
Oh, Ben
sorry, that
didn't
was my
turn off
phone.
his ringer.
I don't.
Here's the
Sorry,
10th
my
anniversary
bad.
of Ben not turning off his ringer.
I still have the 24 ringtone. In case anyone recognized that ringtone, that's the sound of being at CTU.
Yeah.
With
Jack, they're
Bauer.
behind you, Jack. Okay, let's
Yeah.
talk to Madeline. Madeline, come on down.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to be talking to you.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Speaking of Sheena, I always find myself singing your jazzy version of Good as Gold from the Golden Crappies. That was
Oh,
so
yeah,
That's
fantastic.
right on.
amazing.
So great. And thank you so much for the Top Chef recaps lately. Those have been like the best. So funny. Ghost Padma is killing me. So
Thank
I
you.
have a question for you about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because Bravo is now coming out with opportunities for like more shows with like hosts like Joel Kim Booster and stuff like that, are there any styles of show that you could see Padma coming back for and hosting?
Oh, I like
Literally
it.
every show. That's an amazing question.
I think Padma should just be like a person judge.
Mm, I love
Just
that.
line up people and just let Padma read them for filth.
Yes.
Did you you saw that thing where she went after those girls on TikTok for giving a bad review to a restaurant that she liked, right?
Oh my
So
gosh,
good.
no, I don't think so.
It's good. She eviscerates them. She's like, "How dare you? This restaurant's not even for you. You don't even know how to spell Tika."
That's amazing.
I would love her to. I would love her to host like any show that especially has an elimination, just because she's so cold when eliminating people. So I think she would be great to like if they don't bring back Joel Kim Booster, then they put Padma on. I mean, she's basically a comedian. She can do it herself. Look, I went to a restaurant with Chris Rock last night. I'm funny now. So like I would love to see her like trying to relate to these women and being like, so you found love with Earl the Pearl. Earl the Pearl, do you do stand-up comedy and are you friends with Lena Waithe? No? That's too bad.
Sorry, Earl. Back to the drawing boards, Pearl. Pearl man. All right, we'll see you later. Thanks a lot for coming on, Madeline.
Thanks,
and
Madeline.
let's finish it off with not paid by anyone. Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
I am so conflicted because Bravo, they just keep promoting those toxic people, and I feel like we are enabling them as well. So I have an existential crisis.
Well, here's how I help myself with this, okay? Because you're right. We watch it, we talk about it, we actually literally profit from it. And is there
Yeah.
something morally wrong with that? Probably. So we are not all off the hook. However, I feel like every time I pay my taxes or go vote, I'm enabling some dickhead, toxic man to do something in this country. So why not at least be entertained by it on my television? There.
True. And I've been
Yeah.
finding myself like watching recaps and people on YouTube even more entertaining than watching the show because we kind of bring truth to it or we hold them accountable. And I don't understand Bravo. They've been betting wrong lately
Yeah.
on everyone. Even now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Summer House they had only 2 episodes of the after show, because clearly the whole cast, they thought that really Lexi would be the ditzy one,
Breakout.
and they were all against her. But when they saw what everybody is seeing, they stopped it. Like, and I'm sick and tired of the mean girls, not only the mean guys, like Jax, and all the promotion, and trying to damage control ahead of time that they did.
Mm-hmm.
But also the mean girls in Summer House, like, they're not girls. They're girls only to that clique. And it's so clear. And Sierra, I'm over her. I don't know. I'm just like, I
You're
just
just
want
like,
to
I'm done
vent
with all
about
these
Bravo.
toxic
I just
tricks
want
on
to
this
vent
whole
about
network.
Bravo.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with you, and thank you. I'm going to answer this. We're going to answer this off there because we got to go. But I don't necessarily disagree with you. But I think one positive aspect to it is reading things like Reddit or reading comment threads here on our show, or just being able to stand up against the bullshit. It's nice to see It's nice to see so many people who are standing up against it. I mean, I don't see any Jack's support threads, really. I mean, you'll see occasional crazy people do it, but for the most part, it seems like people are standing for what's right. So that's nice to see. Maybe they're just trying to trigger the audience into standing up for what we believe. I mean, I don't know, but it seems to be getting that result. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, it's so hard. This, I think, is like one of like the moral tensions of these shows, which is that we don't want to give these terrible people platforms. I mean, hello, Ramona Singer posing with Daniel Penny, Jax Taylor throwing these bar stools around and sending these awful texts to his estranged wife. This is like terrible behavior. We don't want to give platforms to these people. But then what happens is we also wind up with, if we we take out the villains, our shows kind of feel neutered. And like, yes, we can have seasons where there really is like not really a major villain, and like the charisma of an entire cast can carry it, and it can be really, really good. But the reality is that like we need our villains too. And so like having to reconcile these terrible people, but also our desire to watch our shows the way we want to watch them, I still don't have a good clean answer for it. I really like what you said about so paying our taxes, like somewhere when we go into Target, when we go into some of these places, our dollars are usually winding up going someplace that are not supporting what we want. And so we do like to exercise control wherever we can. But I also think that there is something about watching these terrible people on TV because they're terrible. And for me, a lot of what has always been about watching these shows has been watching a lot of terrible people and seeing how they interact with society and others, and wondering, how do they do that? Like, how do these people actually function in life? So, I don't like giving people platforms, but I also feel like I think that there is a takeaway from seeing these terrible people, and it makes us reflect better. Like, it makes us reflect more on how terrible they are, and hopefully we can stop.
And just always
raising
remember,
people
the
like that.
best hero stories have the most evil villains. You got to have the villains in the story.
Absolutely.
So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for being here for happy hour. Crappy hour, which is our happy hour. But thank you so much, everybody. We have a great time talking to you. And it's been a great time this year meeting so many of you out on the road. And we've got 3 shows left, so we'll be seeing you guys for those, whoever comes out to those. And we'll be back here for 9 million shows this week. So we'll see you again in 5 fucking minutes, probably. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.